I'm Claire. If you're watching this, then I sincerely hope you're having a much better week than me. And if this is your first time here, then all you need to know about me for now is that I have no clue what I'm talking about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Today, we're back to talking about fantasy football. But before I go any further into this video, I do want to remind you of a few things. Last week, I made a video about our team's first win. And in that video, I gloated a lot. I sent a photo to my cousin asking her how bad she had to be to lose to us. We changed our team name to Unstoppable Juggernaut. And just in general, we, and by we I mean my father and I, who share this team, made a lot of ill-advised decisions that probably pissed off the fantasy gods. But keep in mind that last week I was very cognizant of the fact that I was pissing off the fantasy gods, and that they would not be amused with our antics. Please keep that in mind when I put this week's score up on the screen. Okay? You ready? Yeah, it was bad. We lost by about 75 points, and I think this was our lowest scoring game of all season. And on top of that, we earned ourselves blowout of the week for, I think, the third time this season. We narrowly beat out my uncle, who lost his game by 74 points. So, really, he should be texting us to thank us, because we made him look not good, but not as bad as us. And that's the thing, we're playing bad, but we aren't actually the worst in the league. I mean, we are. But other teams score less than us regularly, every week in fact. They just don't happen to be playing the team that scores the best every week. We score not many points against teams that score a whole hell of a lot of points. But, as I've been doing with the past videos on fantasy football, let's diagnose where we went so bad this week. And, it was a lot of places. Y'all remember how last week I was a little disappointed in the Jets defense and Greg Zuerlein? Yeah, maybe I should have given them a pass. They combined for -3 points. Zuerlein hit 1 point after. Not even a field goal, just 1 point after. I am wondering how that game went. No, you know what? I'm not wondering how that game went. I'm going to Google it right now. Based on what I saw, I didn't watch the game, but based on what I saw from the stats, it looks like Zuerlein had a chance at a field goal. He just missed. So that was reminiscent of last week, except last week it didn't matter, and this week we could have used more than just 1 point after. We also could have used more than -4 points from the defense. I don't know what happened. Jets defense just fell apart, apparently. I think last week I said that Jets fans should hope that they're looking for a new defensive coordinator. I stand by that. Mostly because I have the Jets defense, but I still stand by it. Y'all need a new defensive coordinator. But it wasn't just the Jets that disappointed me. Lots of other people disappointed me too. Austin Eckler, Zay Flowers, and Sam Laporta combined for less than 10 points. That's right, 3 players, all with less than 10 points. Zay Flowers was mic'd up for Monday night's game, and he's laughing like a little kid throughout the game. It's very cute, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure he's laughing at all of the fantasy teams he screwed over. It is actually a very endearing video, though. But I would have liked him to get more than 30 yards and 1 reception. And then, of course, there's Debo. Oh, Debo. This was the wrong week to get pneumonia. Could have used you in that game. And not just because the Niners haven't beat the Chiefs in over a decade. A lot because of that, though. Even if Debo had played, we had no chance of winning, but maybe the Niners would have had a chance. Probably not. Shout out to Bijan, though. Finally had himself like a really solid week after another solid week. Usually he has a solid week and then a less solid week, but this time back to back, 25 points in his game. Not sure what more I can ask for. His 25 points didn't help us much, but you know, I can't ask the guy to rush for 700 yards in a single game. I'm asking Bijan for a lot, but that seems like a little much. That would be an unbreakable historic record if he ever rushed for over 700 yards. In fact, I think the record for most yards in a single game for a team is 735 yards, and that was set last year by the Dolphins. So if it's a record for a team to get more than 700 yards, it really does feel a little unfair to Bijan to ask him to do more than that. I do think I should have put more effort into convincing DeAndre Swift to play during his bye week. But even then, but to get blowout of the week, again, it doesn't just take us having a bad week. Our opponent has to have a good week. Or, you know, a really good week. A week where he gets 132 points even though he's not that good, and I think this is the most points he's gotten all season. So how did he do that, you may ask? Well, having Baker Mayfield didn't hurt. Nice, easy 28 points. Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, you'll remember from last week's video, I did think that they were going to have good games and that was going to hurt us. I was right. They had good games. It hurt us pretty bad. And then, you know, Amari Cooper was good. Tyler Lockett was, you know, not great, but fine. And then his tight end, his kicker, and his defense, they weren't completely useless, unlike ours. Actually, they all got double-digit points. Tight end, kicker, and defense. So yeah, all of that totaled for 132 points. Now, if you're any good at counting, first of all, that makes you smarter than me. I wish I were joking. Second, you might be thinking, she only talked about 8 guys. What happened to the 9th? And, well, I don't want to talk about it. That's a lie. I created this channel exclusively so I could talk about it. So let's talk about it. Tank Dell got 0 points. Zero points. He played. He was targeted twice in the entire game. He dropped one and then caught the other out of bounds. So, for those of you good at math, again, not me, but for those of you good at math, that totals 0 points. He was in the game, but he didn't do anything. So once again, we've lost to a team that only played 8 guys. And on top of that, we got blowout of the week to a team that only had 8 guys. I'm not particularly thrilled about this. And you know what CJ Stroud is saying now? He's saying that they need to involve Tank Dell a little more in the offense. Well, it's a little fucking late for that, CJ. You couldn't do that on Sunday's game? And yeah, I'm getting worked up about my opponent having a guy who's zeroed out. Yeah, Tank Dell getting points would have meant that our blowout was bigger. But you know what? We already got blowout of the week. How much more embarrassing can it be? And it's pretty damn embarrassing to get blowout of a week against 8 guys. Even if Debo also zeroed out. So I would rather lose to 9 players, to a complete team, because then when Debo is out, I can just say, well, if Debo had played, he would have gotten 700 yards. We would have won the game. Doing the math, I'm not even entirely sure that 700 yards would have gotten us a win. I need to double check that. This entire time I've been saying that I needed players to get 700 yards. It's actually more like 750, which is more than the team all-purpose yards single game record. But you know, hey, if Debo had played, maybe he would have set an amazing new record. We'll never know. The man got pneumonia. But yeah, the unstoppable juggernaut is apparently very stoppable. So much so that we did have to modify our team name again. We weren't going for creativity this week. We were just going for honesty. And if you've gotten through all of my fantasy football videos and you're asking yourself if I'm tanking the team just for content, well, first of all, I have 5 subscribers. This content is not getting any views. Second, remember that I share this team with my dad, who does not know that I make YouTube videos and would not be amused if he thought that I were tanking the team just to get views. And third, maybe I should start tanking, because you know what? Actually trying to play and trying to win has gotten me to 11th place and a 1-6 record and 3 blowout of the weeks and 5 of 7 weeks where we've lost to a team with only 8 guys. Trying is not working for me this week. And I swear, we're trying. We are looking at scouting reports. We're looking at every advice we can find online. We're looking at sleepers, making waiver claims, picking up free agents. I mean, what else is there left for us to do? We're even checking the weather in stadiums. We just have no idea how to play this game this year, apparently. We have terrible luck. I mean, I'm telling you, we're cursed. Because we have our worst weeks. First of all, we have our worst weeks every week, but against teams who are having their best weeks. And it's really annoying. But so to all of you who think that I'm tanking the team on purpose, which I don't think is anyone, but to all of you imaginary people who do think that, I'm not. I just have no clue what I'm doing, especially when it comes to fantasy football.